pound of weed in the raffle and lots more that we're adding as the day goes by. Thanks to everybody for kicking down. Now, speaking of kicking down, this next speaker that I'd like to introduce is Dana Larsen. His booth is over there. He kicked down hard for this festival. He's a longtime friend of ours, a very long-time hard-working activist here in Vancouver. We love him dearly. Glad he's here. Dana Larsen.
Thanks, Greg. And I hope this is a wonderful cannabis day for you, like it is for me. I'm here because I love marijuana, and I bet you do too. I've been smoking and using marijuana for all of my adult life. Marijuana has made me a better person. Marijuana has improved my health, it's improved my mind, it's improved my sex life. Marijuana is the world's greatest plant, and I want to give back to this plant what it's given to me. There is no other plant on this planet of ours that can do all the wonderful things the cannabis plant can do. We all know the many uses, the medicinal, the social, the industrial, the nutritional benefits of this amazing plant. And that's why we're here, is to celebrate our love affair with the cannabis plant. But we have to remember that when this plant gives to us, we have to give back to the cannabis plant. I want to see cannabis growing everywhere in this country, freely, openly, legally, with no concern and no worries and no police problems at all. That is why we are here. That is why I and many others have worked our lives to make happen, to change these laws and to free this plant and to free those who love it from the bonds of prison and punishment and the terrible things that happen in what is falsely called the war on drugs. And we must remember that while we're here celebrating and smoking marijuana and buying cannabis from an amazing smorgasbord of marijuana dealers providing the world's finest marijuana products, foods, tinctures, extracts, weeds, butter, hash, oil, we are blessed, and we are blessed because people have put their freedom on the line to create what we have today. Because activists like David Malmelavid and Mark Emery and others worked their asses off and did time in prison so that we could be here, so that we can enjoy the freedom of marijuana, to get high and to celebrate without a worry in the world, because we know that the Vancouver Police Department has better things to do than come here today and mess with our wonderful celebration. But we are blessed, and what we have here is very special. It's unique. Nowhere else in the world can we come together and have an open, free cannabis farmers market for 1 or 2 or 3 days out of the year. This is absolutely unique in Vancouver, and you know what? I want every city in Canada to be able to celebrate like this. I want every city on earth to be able to celebrate like this, to be open and free and not ashamed of our love for the world's most wonderful plant, the cannabis plant. And so we have to remember to use the freedom that we have. We have to continue to fight. What we have here can be taken away from us. We can lose what we have here quite easily. And in fact, people thought marijuana was going to be legalized 30 years ago or 40 years ago. In the 1970s, they were all, oh, it's just a matter of time. We're going to have it legal any day now. Well, we've had generations come and go, and these laws have not changed. They've only changed for the worse. Let's not pass this on to another generation. Let's not leave this battle for our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren to continue to suffer and be persecuted because they love marijuana. Let's end this war, and let's end it now in our lifetimes. Let's make it so that this is something for the history books, something for the past, and no longer something that we have to live with every day. And so I urge each and every one of you to do something and to get involved. Over the course of my career, I served as editor of Cannabis Culture magazine. I helped found the Vancouver Seed Bank, and I am a founding director of the Cannabis Dispensary Society. I helped found the Canadian Marijuana Party and the BC Marijuana Party. And now I work within the NDP, the New Democratic Party, to have better drug policies, better marijuana laws, and to end this war. And if you're here today, it's because you love marijuana. It's because you're proud of your love for marijuana and you want to come and celebrate with your fellow cannabis users and enjoy this wonderful celebration and this freedom that we have that is so unique. And I charge you now, each of you must do something, must do more than simply coming to a festival a few times a year. I want each and every one of you to spend an hour a day. That's not much, you can do that. Give an hour a day back to this plant that has given so much to you. And there's a lot you can do to get involved. You can come down to our dispensary or the BC Marijuana Party store or the Vancouver Seed Bank and tell them you want to volunteer and help out. You can join the NDP or join another political party if the NDP isn't to your taste. But get involved, work politically, become part of the system and change these laws. Write a letter to the editor of the newspaper when you see an article that insults marijuana users, or write them a letter when you see an article that says something good for a change. You can do it. Talk to your friends. Talk to your parents. I bet a lot of your parents don't even know that you use marijuana. Talk to your parents. Talk to your children. Spread the word. Let the world know that you love marijuana, that you know that marijuana is the world's most wonderful plant, and that it is time to end this war, to end the prohibition, and free this plant and those who love it. So I want you to imagine now, I want you to imagine yourselves in the future, when you're a grandfather or a grandmother and you're in a home that's built out of cannabis hemp, and you're smoking your legal cannabis medicine as a senior citizen to help you deal with your aches and pains. And for breakfast that morning you had cannabis hemp seed gruel, cannabis hemp seed food, and it was wonderful and nutritious and healthful. And you're wearing clothes made out of cannabis. And your grandson or granddaughter is there getting ready for school, reading their history book, their hemp paper history book, and they're reading that book and they turn to you and they say, "Grandma, Granddad, is it true that when you were young that cannabis was illegal, that people would go to prison for growing this plant? The same plant that my school bus runs on that drives me to school every day?" And I want you to be able to say yes. And you know what? The reason you will never know the horrors of cannabis prohibition is because I did something, because I got involved, because I took a chance and I made a difference. Don't look back and say to your children, "I'm sorry. We passed this on for you. Maybe in your lifetime you can end this war." Let's do it now. Don't be afraid. Together, all of us here, we are the people, we are the future. We can change these laws. We can make history right here in Vancouver, in British Columbia. I want you to come to our booth, the Sensible BC booth. We have a campaign to change the laws in British Columbia, to begin the process of truly ending the war on marijuana by decriminalizing the possession of cannabis in British Columbia as a first step. And I need all of your help. I need you to come down and sign our petition. I need you to help me get other signatures so that we can have a vote in this province, so that in September 2014, we, the people of British Columbia, can change the laws, can make the first step, can end the prohibition on possession of marijuana, and we can begin to truly end this war. We can make history here. We will do it together. And so I thank you for being here. I'm so happy to be able to share this joy and this happiness with all of my fellow cannabis users from all around Vancouver, all around the Lower Mainland, all around Canada and the world. And let's not forget what we have here is special. Let's make sure that every year more and more people are freed from the bondage of marijuana prohibition, and that this special, wonderful tolerance that we have here in Vancouver will spread all across British Columbia, all across Canada, all around our planet. It's time to end the war. Thank you very much for doing what you can to end the war on marijuana. Thank you.